Well, a woodworker can never have too many clamps, and a woodworker can never have too many tools, but where are you going to put all those tools? So this project here was another endeavor to organize the shop, to maximize the space I got in this garage shop. Yes, it is mounted on a drum sander. However, all of the steps in this, it's really for, you know, a DIYer. You don't need a lot of tools. It's pocket holes, some basic tools. So yes, I will walk through how it's customized to this unit. If you have the Supermax, you know, 1938 or the 1632, it will work as well. But if you're just looking to make a cabinet or some shop organization, maybe there's some tips in here that'll help you. With that, one thing that I was really excited to pull off with these drawers is just the storage with all of these little inserts. So using the Dado stack, kind of get into how to do this to really fit a lot of stuff and really get it organized to suit your needs. For me and for woodworkers, especially the belts are always so hard to find a spot to store, and really I was able to fit a ton in here. Obviously the rolls for the drum itself, but it's pretty straightforward. Some cool tips and tricks, and hopefully it inspires you and helps you get organized and really to improve your efficiency. So anyway, check it out.
All right, so starting off, I got to break down a bunch of plywood. So I'm using 3/4 inch plywood here. Plenty of ways to break it down. I use the table saw for part of it. I use my circular saw and an attachment. Acts kind of like a track saw here. There's plenty of options to do. You're just going to need a lot of plywood. So there's a lot of cutting. Don't worry, I've spared yourself. This is all you're going to see. But break down your plywood and then drill a ton of pocket holes. So this is the only pocket hole action you'll see as far as the drilling. But whatever jig you're using, drill a ton. Ton of pocket holes and then screws. So any shop project I do for a shop organization, I always use pocket holes, and I've actually stopped using glue. I feel like it's plenty sufficient just with the screws. But use some clamps, get that nice tight pressure, get a good hold. So just assembling the carcass here. I had forgotten to drill some holes, believe it or not. So I'm just adding some countersink holes in the back and adding some screws to the back. I'm going to see it, but it's in the garage. I don't care. I did have a couple of those holes just to make sure that back is attached. So now I have kind of a structure. So for those of you here for the drum sander build, just want to make sure that it fits. I made mine to kind of stick out a bit, but happy with it. All right, drawers. Again, pocket holes. Yes, I drilled some extra holes you can see on the side. Whoopsie, oh well, shop furniture. I just rolled with it. And so got my 3/4 inch base, and now I'm just glue and brad nails with a 1/2 inch piece of plywood on the bottom. There you go. You got yourself a drawer. All right, so here's the exciting part. I'm swapping out for a Dado stack. And yes, DeWalt job site saws. Some models can handle the Dado stack. I'll leave a link in the description about my unit and my model. But if you have a saw that can handle a Dado stack, I totally recommend getting this. This is huge for shop furniture. Here I have it set at just a 1/4 inch. So in one pass, I get a 1/4 inch. If you don't have one, you're just going to have to do extra passes with the saw blade on the table saw. Not a big deal. It's just the Dado stack saves a ton of time. So pretty fun here. I just gave myself lots of grooves. And then some 1/4 inch plywood just for these little dividers, and it's versatile. So just attaching these again by pocket holes, and then the plywood, I can just kind of swap it in, and what works for me right now isn't going to necessarily be how I want to store things down the road. So it allows that versatility to swap out what I want to store in this unit. So it's kind of fun, all the possibilities. All right, now to actually mount these drawers. So I use just pieces of plywood to kind of get the height where I want it, and then I cut plywood to size just to rest my drawer slide and kind of get the look. It works great. There's other attachments other companies make Those work great too, but plywood works for me. And then I have that same piece that I can use to attach the drawer. Yes, you see those extra holes on the side that won't get covered. Yeah, it's okay. It's shop furniture. I'm over it. All right, next I'm adding the drawer slides on the bottom. So I put a piece of 3/4 inch ply on the bottom to account for the 1/2 inch bottom of the box, and just a 1/4 inch of flexibility. So I added the drawer slides, but I'm not mounting them. I'm marking where the drawer will go, because I wanted to add a shelf. And so before actually attaching the drawer, I'm adding this little shelf here. Again, you can see I'm using the plywood just to get that uniform height so it is level all the way back. This is a pretty deep unit. So the plywood is really helpful in that regard. Again, more pocket holes, get it nice and tight. Also helps, form up the whole box itself, give it, rigidity and strength. All right, now to attach the bottom drawer. It's actually the perfect height. Just use your knee, let it rest in your lap as you attach it to your slides, and it goes pretty quickly. So if you want more info on drawers, and there's no shortage of videos out on YouTube to check it out. I'm a novice, but it works for me for my shop and for my needs. All right, how does it stay put? So I didn't want to drill into the metal itself, so I just added these cleats. So it's just a piece of plywood, threw in the screws ahead of time, and then just, got it flush right up against the metal itself, so it's not going to go back, and then have one on either side. So it's not going to get pushed all the way out, or when I yank open a drawer, I'm not going to pull it out with me, and then it's high enough, it's not going to rock. So it works great. All right, face frames. I'm just using some poplar here to clean up that plywood edge. It's shop furniture. You don't need to do face frames, but if you want to, I'm just using some poplar and the nail gun. I had some issues with my face frame. I pull it off later, but whatever. Again, whatever works for you. Face frames are nice to just to class it up a bit, and then give that thickness for drawer fronts. Okay, so I got walnut now. What's the walnut for? Well, I wanted to make some of my own drawer pulls. So if you're like, I don't care about the drawer pulls, then just go ahead and skip ahead in the video. But got some walnut. I made some big chunky ones, and I made it just with 2 router bits. So I got a cove bit there on the right and a round over bit on the left. So I just have a couple of these. I'm going to batch out about 8 or 10 for future shop projects. But the cove bit, that's for the finger grip on the pole itself. So got that nice little groove. That's plenty of clearance for the fingers. And then on the opposite corner, just did a round over, just kind of tie it in. You could obviously do a chamfer. Plenty of options out there in making drawer pulls. You can get creative with router bits and have fun with it. These are pretty basic, but I'm really happy with how they turned out. They're big, they're chunky. So me and one of my helpers, we're sanding it down, getting that nice feel, right? It's a drawer pull. You want it to feel nice. And just because it's shop furniture doesn't mean it can't look a little classy. So sand it down. Here I got, 2 big chunks before the cross cuts happen, but it sped up the process doing it this way instead of doing like little offcuts individually, which you certainly could do. All right, and then just, my old beat up crosscut sled still works great. It's basic. You don't need all the frills. I went 6 inches long here, and then they're about 3 inches wide. And then just cleaning up with a little bit more hand sanding. So yes, with any project, obviously plenty of sanding. On this one, after you're done sanding, make sure you clean it up with a tack cloth. That's just going to remove all of the debris, all the sanding particles. And then I went with shellac. I just did 2 coats of shellac, nothing really fancy. However you want to finish it, you can, do, BLO, boiled linseed oil, spray lacquer. Plenty of options, but I wanted to make sure I could unlock that beautiful grain and seal it for all those shop hands with glue and such. All right, my drawer faces are just poplar, and then I attached the drawer pulls ahead of time. So just onto the drawer face before, and then attach it to the drawer. Plenty of tricks out there. The card trick, different ways to attach your drawer. I mean, you attach the drawer face, the end. It works. Keep checking, make sure it's level. Oh, yeah, it's level. It's great. All right, fill it up. So this is what I was really excited about for me, is to get all those different rolls of sandpaper, all sorts of different ones, and I can keep customizing this. I can keep swapping things in and out. and no shortage of possibilities. So I'll be using this method in the future for future projects. But there she is. Hello, awesome. So organization is a must in any space, but I'm excited to continue to customize this. So I'm going to add more attachments. There you can see like the sanding stick is up on top. I'll probably make a little tray there. Made a quick little CA glue storage. Got some Star Bond, and I'll add a little mount for tape measures, pencils, all sorts of stuff. So projects like these are great. Utilize your space. It was wasted space under the drum, and now we got organization.